Hi, welcome back. In this video, we're going to talk about installing Kstars under Windows 10. In my previous series, we talked about installing Kstars under Linux, and we also talked about the Raspberry Pi Indi server. So in this video, we're going to go over the installation process for Kstars under Windows 10, so you could use the Ekos Indi Raspberry Pi server as the server and use Kstars under Windows 10 as the client. So let's go ahead and start our installation process. Let's start by downloading the necessary software you need to run Kstars on your Windows 7, 8, or 10 operating system. First, we need to download Kstars. Go ahead and go to the edukde.org/kstars URL, and there you'll find the following page. Go down where it says download. This is where you find the Kstars installation for Windows. Look for the Windows download. Click on Kstars installer here and save this file. The next thing we want to download is the Xming X server for Windows. This will be useful when you want to connect your Raspberry Pi and use PHD2 guiding if you so desire. This isn't a requirement. It is somewhat nice to have. Go to sourceforge.net/projects/xming. Go ahead and click the download button. Again, when it completes download, you want to save this file. The final software we need is PuTTY or something similar. I'm going to use PuTTY here for an SSH client, but you could use other clients, and you may even have one on your Windows system. So we want to go to www.putty.org. This will bring up this page. Select Download PuTTY here. Click here. And then select whether you want 16-bit x86 or 32-bit x86. If you're not sure, read the frequently asked question entry here, but essentially a 64-bit system will also work fine using the 32-bit X11 release. I am going to go ahead and do the 64-bit installer here. And again, we want to save the file. Once that's done, we want to bring up the file manager and go to the downloads directory. From there, you could start the installation process. Let's install Kstars first. So right click and open. It will ask you if you want to make changes to your device. This is just the normal installation. I'm sure you guys done it a million times on Windows. So I'm just going to click on through here. Yes, we want anyone to use this using this computer, and the program file storage is fine. I'm just going to go ahead and use the default for all of it. And click Finish when you're done. The next thing we're going to do is install the Xming software. So right click and open up that. Again, go ahead and do the normal installation process. Now, I previously installed this before, so that's why the directory is there. And normal PuTTY SSH, everything looks fine here. Hit Next. Next. I'm going to leave this up to you, but I am going to create a desktop icon. That's about it. And install. And then finally, let's go ahead and install the PuTTY software. And go ahead and click to finish. And if you want, you could browse the README. So those are the software pieces that are required for Windows to run Ekos and Kstars. We'll be using the Raspberry Pi server, and just like with Linux, we'll be using Kstars to talk to the Raspberry Pi Indi server, manage the equipment. Now that you've installed Kstars, Xming, and PuTTY, let's go ahead and bring up Kstars. We'll go ahead and double click on the desktop icon. And just like all my Linux videos, you'll see that the display is quite familiar. It's just like the Linux release. Make sure your equipment is connected and everything is set up on your Ekos Indi server. And we're going to go ahead and bring up under Tools Ekos. Again, since this isn't a new install for me, I had a profile already created, but it's a similar process where you would include your name, type of equipment you have, and select the web manager, just as we went through the installation process for the Raspberry Pi Kstars. So once you have the profile defined, you could go ahead and start, and you'll notice that the devices come up just like they did under Linux. There's the smart focuser, the guide camera, the main camera, and the mount. Now, the reason why we installed PuTTY and Xming is to allow future use of the PhD2 guiding software that resides on the Raspberry Pi. If you open up PuTTY, you could define the host and the user, what port you want. The main important thing here, though, is under SSH. Make sure you click the plus under SSH and then go down to the X11. Verify that the enable X forwarding is checked, and that's it. The next thing we could do is go back up in the main menu once you've added the host name and the user. In this case, it's Ekos at ekos-server-test-wl. We could go ahead and open the connection. It'll prompt you for your Ekos password, and you'll find that you're in your terminal window. Then you want to go ahead and open up Xming. Now, nothing's going to really happen here other than you're opening up the software. But what you can do now is if you type PhD2 in your terminal window, ampersand, which puts it in background mode. If you do that, you'll notice in a few seconds the PhD2 software will come up, which it has here. And we'll go into configuring the PhD2 software for use with the Raspberry Pi at a later video, but I wanted to show you that it's perfectly usable. And everything looks good. I don't have this as external guiding here under this profile, so I can't show you specifics and how they interact, but I believe they'll interact just like the Linux distribution does. So that's the short video. I wanted to share how to use Kstars with the Raspberry Pi Indi Ekos server so that you can use your Windows laptop or your Windows desktop to access your Raspberry Pi Indi Ekos server. Thanks for watching this video. Please click like and subscribe if you like these types of videos. If you have any comments of what future videos you would like to see, please leave a comment below. And please let me know what kind of videos you'd like to see, whether it's observing sessions or how-tos or specific questions regarding Indi, Ekos, and Kstars. I'll do my best to present that in a video format and create a video. Anyway, thanks. Clear skies. Take care.